because I.
You about to be a professional now.
My edge and we ready to go? Yeah. Okay. Welcome to the .Ugly Truth Podcast, where we get to speak with some amazing people who do some amazing things. But as you know, everything that glitters is not always so gold. So I'm here to get that ugly truth out of the one, the only Jose, a black man with a Spanish name.
Yes. We doing some major things today, man. Sure. It's a little hot.
It is a little hot. So listen, this is called the .Ugly. Nothing's ugly about what we're doing today. Well, my day has been ugly because I still don't have a place to stay and can't.
My day's been kind of ugly too. Yeah, it's been kind of just a little bit.
But we still do it.
Yeah, we're making it work.
We do because I actually don't mind being in an ugly space. I really don't. I'm down here in Atlanta, so as you guys can see, the background's different. It's a little more fancy. Okay.
Multi-camera, full production.
I know, full
lights.
production unit, lights and stuff, and all that. Next week we're gonna be back in the basement with the 2 lights from Amazon and the 1 camera. Okay, but the more you guys subscribe, I can get some more cameras.
There it is.
So that's what we'll do. Jose,
yeah.
DC to Atlanta.
DC to Atlanta, yeah.
Homegrown.
Yep.
And you didn't came down to Atlanta. Why you come down here? What was the move?
Look, I mean, the biggest thing in regards to coming to Atlanta was the fact of being face-to-face with a lot of my clients. You know, when we had COVID, the COVID space had made it really opened up the world in regards to like the level of virtual meetings and virtual networking, and it actually opened up and we had Clubhouse and all these different things, and it was like, yo, you were actually getting to know more people than you ever did before.
Right.
And at that point, I'm starting to gain new clients, new clientele, and I was like, you know what? Let me go to the A. Get that face-to-face time. Actually, it's been one of the best things, if not the best thing that I ever did coming out here.
Yeah. So what do you do? For those who don't know you, it's not many.
No.
But for those who don't know, what is it that you do?
I am a male exotic stripper.
Excellent.
I'm joking. I'm not. I actually a personal brand coach, and I build signature courses. So the big thing about a signature course, people always ask, what's a signature course?
Right.
Well, those people who have one-on-ones, right? You're doing one-on-ones and you're dealing with people. The whole point of a signature course is to say, hey, you want to get with me? Here, take this course, and then when somebody wants to work with you one-on-one, now it's at a premium price.
Yeah, now it's at a different level now. Because I didn't give you all my nuggets. So you need that one-on-one. You're going to have to.
There it is.
I love it. Okay, so how did you get into course making? So not just course making, but I would assume starting off with film and everything like that. Like, where did that start for you?
Yeah, so the crazy part is I was married, and my wife then had bought me a camera. Matter of fact, I think I still use that. This might be upstairs. I think I still use it.
Camera?
Not the lucky one.
Not the lucky one.
No, that wasn't the first one. I take that back. No. The first one she bought me was a Nikon D3200. And prior to that, I had an eye. I always had an eye for like photo and video. I mean, to the point where when I worked at Verizon Wireless, I had this homegirl. She was like, yo, Jose, I got my fit on today. Can we go out back and take pictures? I'm talking about with the flip phone cameras to the Motorola, the Samsung joints, you know what I'm saying? And then they upgraded and things of that nature. And so I was like, I bet. I always had an eye, right? This before DSLRs or what have you. So fast forward, she had bought me a camera, and I hadn't used it yet. And then what happened was in 2014, my youngest daughter passed away of cancer, right? And so what happened after that, I took off of work for 30 days. I was kind of losing my mind. I had the camera though, so I spent literally probably about 18 hours a day looking at YouTube videos and studying the camera and see what I could do with it. And in that 35 days, I probably learned more than what somebody did in 10 years. Wow. So from there, I was like, all right, bet. Fast forward, I started shooting weddings here and there. I'm going crazy. I would like assist with shooting weddings. I had that D3200, had a 50 millimeter lens, and I was switching back and forth between taking picture and video. And the first couple of videos and pictures, people was like, yo, I should have just paid you for the whole joint.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, bet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And so, again, I started going further. And then, long story less long on that, met with, my boy had hit me up and said, yo, you ever heard of this dude named Eric Thomas? I was like, the dude that yell? I was like, yeah. I was like,
dude
yeah.
that yells?
I was like, yeah, I heard of him. And so he was like, well, he got a brunch in DMV in Bowie at somebody's house. You trying to come through? I was like, bet. How much is it? He was like, it's free. Whoa. It's free? He said, yeah, all you got to do is be a part of. He has a group or organization called Breathe University. I was like, all right, how much is Breathe University? He was like, $19.99. I was like, you know me being cheap. I was like, it's month to month?
Right.
He was like, yeah, it's month to month. I was like, bet, sign up. So I signed up for Breathe University. They had sent me a shirt within 3 or 4 days. That next week, he was at the brunch, and what did I do? I came through with my camera.
Absolutely.
Came through with my camera, shot pictures, video. They was like, yo, you fire. We got this event, come through this event, boom. Then they started come through this other event. I had met my partner then, Nikki. At that point, we had met, but we hadn't started working together. But we had met. I met Dave Shands there. There's a lot of people that I see, and I look back that we didn't start having conversations there, but we end up having a relationship just later on because of being in that.
Y'all were being in the room.
Right. And so I started shooting for him, and for what, 2-3 years, 70% of my stuff was actually on his website for Breathe University and on YouTube and things of that nature. But the crazy part, I wasn't getting paid. And a lot of people like, yo, you out here big time with Eric Thomas. I was like, yeah, nah. We out here grinding for real,
Right.
putting in that servant mindset, that space where it's like, yo, I know what I need to be doing in this space, but at the same time, I know I need to get into the room. And I always tell people that my camera got me into the room, but it was my character that kept me. Right, and I was in rooms where people were paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Someone's upwards of $50,000 to be in, and I'm there for free. So I always tell anybody, like, in that time period, I done gained over $150 million worth of gain. Right, just by being in a room. And then fast forward, me and Nikki started a company, and then we took it to another level where we take over his whole brand, do the branding for Inky Johnson. Jamal King, the 9 to 5 mate, like a whole host of others that we do this for. And then it got to the place where I started building out the courses. After we built Jamal's course went crazy. I was already doing small courses within ET, within the internalized space. Then I was like, oh, there's a formula to this, and I got like a gift for this. And then it got to a place where my people started making a lot of money. But more importantly, my people were getting a lot of completion rates. The completion rates was really high. So I know that's all of it in a nutshell. That's a lot to unpack.
I don't even know if that's like a nutshell or not, but that's amazing because even in the ugly space of the loss of your daughter,
super
she
ugly.
has
Super
now created who you are today.
Yeah, heck. Look, I promise you, not even just on that. I always say, people always like, yo, Jose, you just be so positive. You always giving. You got to understand, like, I say sometimes I might not have been the most giving, or I might have been a dirtbag prior to her passing. So it's prior to her passing, then after. And I believe a lot of my things that I put into place, in my heart of hearts, I feel like it kind of added to that for her to leave this world. So now in the back of my mind, subconsciously, unconsciously, I feel like I have to be planting seeds of positivity. I don't care if it's on fertile ground. I don't care if it's on carpet. I don't care if it's in a swimming pool. I don't care if I'm putting this thing in your car. I'm planting seeds of positivity everywhere because I never know when they're going to harvest.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just how my whole mindset is, because I can't afford to go through that again. Or something close to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that, man. I don't have children. I had a dog. And my dog was my best friend, and I lost her during COVID. And it that companionship, you know what I mean, that connection that you have with, you know. So I couldn't imagine having someone. This is your child, you know what I mean, and for it to that's another level of strength.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's definitely different. But that's why now I just make sure that anything that I do it with that positivity. I do it in her name. I just, you know what I'm saying? It's just to a point where I always wanted to be remembered, but now I want to be impactful and transformational.
Right.
You know
See,
what I'm saying?
now it's about a legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For someone to remember you. I remember I go to Zion Church in Maryland, Pastor Keith Battle. And
Yep. What up, Crash the Battle?
absolutely. I'm going to get you on here too at some point. I guarantee you, watch. It's coming. Mm-hmm. And he said when you look at your tombstone, you have your birth date, there's a dash, and you have your death date. Your legacy is that dash. And so your legacy is definitely amazing. I can already see it in your son.
Oh, yeah.
Sean he's, I mean, like, he's just everything, you know what I mean? And when you spoke about getting in the room, this young man is in the room, he's quiet, he don't say much until he comes out with another course or something. And then you're like, he was paying attention. He understood the assignment. But he wasn't even in there for that, you know what I mean? So I met him down at the Content Creator Boot Camp, and he's just in there passing a mic around. That's all he did. You know what I mean? He's passing the mic around and
He
film.
got to serve. I told him.
But
he already know you got to serve first before anything.
But here he is, 3 months later, he got a whole stock options course. And I done bought it. And I'm being 1,000% honest. I don't intend to look at it because I don't know a daggone thing about stocks. And I want to know something about stocks, but I'm afraid of them.
He does break it down. A lot of people say, why you don't do it? I was like, why would I do that when, first off, I focus on one thing, personal branding and courses.
Right.
I got somebody who does that,
Yeah.
who I feed, clothe, and pay for, yet at the same time, he does trading for me.
Right.
But for those who do want to learn, we're actually even coming out with a curriculum for like elementary and middle school because he actually did, I walked in his room and he was on a Zoom with kindergartners.
Wow.
And they were quiet. And I'm sitting there like, and he's teaching them about stocks. The kindergartners, now mind you.
That's the classroom I should have been in. I should have been in a classroom. I should have been in a kindergarten call.
I'm sitting there like,
Yeah.
I'm good, but gaining that attention. So one of the courses we actually doing is actually a custodial course. Because my goal, even when he turned 18, was to have my 800 credit score. It was close. It was like a 760. I had him at a 760. Had all this credit under his name. He's over 800 now. And I'm like, dang, I'm still in the 750s. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I done got you there. You just go, all right, that's what we doing. All right, cool. You supposed to be, you supposed to be better than me. But so we're doing it, and then also how we started him in stocks. He had started before he was legal to do it. So again, a custodial account. So we're doing a credit, stocks, and I'm trying to figure out what's the last one because he wanted to do like the government contracting, and he wanted to do the Toro boy and everything like that. But I made him. I ain't really say shut it down. I just said, yo, let's really go him. Let's go hard on this. But we're trying to figure out what's the third piece. So for parents, like if you have that kid, like kids got a lot of imagination. They optimistic. There's no govern. There's no walls up. We've been conditioned to have these walls. You know what I'm saying? We've been conditioned to be like, nah, you can't do that. Kids don't have that. Give it to them, and you'll see them. You like, yo, I can't believe they did this. You be like, I mean, I always knew he had it, but my whole thing was it was bigger than not really pushing him, but showing him.
And still giving him his option.
I never forget. He was 16. He was like, Dad, everybody doesn't have to be an entrepreneur like you. He wanted to work at Old Navy in the movie theater, but he was following behind some young lady. I get it. Look, I get it. But I showed him this lifestyle, how I was missing games when I worked for Verizon. I wasn't able to be at holidays. On Thanksgiving, I had to leave early because I had to be up early the next day for Black Friday at 4 a.m. Like all these different things that I was like constrained within this 9 to 5, or really it wasn't even a 9 to 5. It was a 9 to 9 for the most part. And now that I had the freedom of entrepreneurship, I wanted him to see it. He saw it was like it was the best thing that ever happened to him. He's so focused. I don't want to say he's cut off friends, but he's left them in the dust. He's like, yo, you can come. He said, y'all can come. I'm like, yo, we going this way. Y'all coming or not? And they chose not to. So he's like, yo, so even some lonely, but at the same time, he's now around a group of people who are doing what he's doing. Yeah. And even still, his mom and his stepdad at one time didn't even believe in it. Mm-hmm. And I always told them, I said, yo, I will let him fail, but I will never let him fall. Like, I want him to bump his elbow. I want him to scrape his knee. I want him to learn. I want him, just like riding that bike, I want him to balance on the bike. I want him to see entrepreneurship. I want him to be able to pay these bills. I want little things to pop up. I want people to complain. I want chargebacks. I want all these different things to happen. Again, I want him to fail, but I'm never going to let him fall. And now to the point where, I'm sorry, guys, but he makes more money than them.
Yeah, so, it is what it is. We're not apologizing for that. We all have choices, you know what I mean? We all have he's made a choice, you know what I mean? He had the choice to do what he thought was what he wanted to do, or do what he felt, you know, was going to be great for him to do. And he's made a hell of a decision. Yep. He's amazing. Yeah. He's amazing. And I'm going to be paying him to do mine, because I'm not looking at no charts. I don't know what I'm looking at.
He breaks it down. Optionstradingcourse.com.
Yeah, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it, but I'm not going to. I just know myself, and I'm going to get frustrated. Yeah. I'm going to get frustrated. So. Yeah. But, yeah, so, okay, cool. So we done gone from Atlanta, D.C., so now, no, D.C. to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. You at one point, though, prior to getting into the production and everything like that, you said one day on a morning meetup, I'm putting it out there, okay? I'm gonna do it.
Let's go.
You are a rapper or a singer, one of the two. You can bust a note.
Rapper and songwriter.
Songwriter, but can you hold a note?
I can hold a note, yes. I can definitely hold a note. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the rap wise, I started extremely young, writing. Even like when I visit like my mom's, they got this like storage, and I'd be looking at my old books. I'm like, okay.
And then you had bars?
Oh yeah, it was.
You had bars.
I had crazy bars, but I started rapping so much. I got on the radio. I was on not WPGC. It was WKYS 93.9, and it was P. Stu, Steph Lover. Yeah. And I used to rap on their thing, and it was like every week we had to battle somebody, and I kept throwing it. And then they was like, yo, you coming up to the station? So I would go up to the station, and then one time they even let me host a club. Yeah, I was 16 too. My sister had to take me.
I was about to say.
I wasn't even driving. My sister had to take me, and that's another thing, because, yeah. 16-year-old dude to hosting a club who got access to free drinks at 16 and drinking for the first time. It was a lot to happen all at once.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a lot to handle.
A lot.
That's overwhelming.
And then acting like I know
what you was doing. Yeah, you ain't want to see nobody.
That's another story that I got to tell you that happened with that. But anywho,
yeah, we're going to save that for the next set.
And then I was hosting a lot of clubs, and then one day I happened to work at this spot called Waxy Maxie's in Rivertown. Mm-hmm. It was not a clothing. I'm about to say clothing. It was a music spot, and long story less long, I met Genuine in there. He had lived up the street, and I had spit for him. And it's funny that the line that I had spit, that I didn't even remember, had his name in it. And I was like, dang, that kind of worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
So he gave me the number, address, and I would just pop up at the house while he was on tour. And I had a great relationship with his mom. At that time, I had left Waxy Maxie's, and I had worked for Thrifty, so I was just driving cars back and forth.
Right.
Here's a funny part, and I don't tell a lot of people this. When I was driving for Thrifty, there was a young gentleman who used to pull the plastic off for the cars. Yes, I'm telling the story. He used to pull the plastic off of the cars, and because he was a brand new cars. We were just driving from Thrifty rental place to Thrifty rental place. I was a driver. He was what they called a porter. It was Jay Holiday. And what happened was I was the one who introduced Jay Holiday, then my other boy Keenan, to Genuine. We had to have them singing the Bob Evans in Waldorf, Maryland. Then they went on the road with G, and then, you know, long story less long, blew that thing up. But, yeah, worked at Thrifty. And I used to have a great relationship with his mom, just off the visit, hi, bye, talking to her before she passed away. And then he was like, all right, let's go. We about to start this situation, Bag Entertainment, have talks with Sony. going up to New York in the studio. First song that we recorded, well, we recorded more songs at home, but first song we recorded is a song called Cheddar Brings that is on the Senior album. We probably got 17 songs together, but the other one was called I Apologize. That was on this like bootleg. Somebody had bought the rights to the songs and they put it out, but then I guess we got the rights back, so they took it down off. But y'all can still find it. I Apologize. And then the Batteries remix with Trina. We did that one. Now, mind you, I'm a clean artist. For real, I'm licensed in ministry. Right?
Oh.
That's a whole nother thing. So I'm
We're
clean.
Going to save that for the next time we meet, the next time we come down.
But then I'm on a song with Trina called Batteries, and you could just imagine
Trina, and see, listen now,
what
Trina.
Batteries means. And so for me, if you ever listen to it, go listen to it. Batteries remix. That one is on the, I can't remember the name of that one.
I'm finna pull it up as soon as we finish because I never heard it. I love Trina.
Yeah.
I love Trina.
Yeah. I got the first verse. I'm coming out the gate. And that's actually what made it easier though too. I was coming out the gate of the song.
And you didn't have to worry about coming behind nothing else.
Exactly.
I get that.
I told more of a story and it was still clean. So, yep, did that. We was on tour, going city to city. It's probably why I don't do clubs now. You got to think I've been doing
You've been doing it since
clubs
you were
since
16.
It was like, and every city felt like it was the same young ladies.
Yeah, it's the same.
Same,
they don't offer
the
nothing
same
different.
everything.
It's the same.
It was wild, but I enjoyed that part of my life. I used that, what I learned there, to impart in my daughter, and we got some stuff on iTunes with her. Okay. She's an amazing singer-songwriter. So you got to think, everything that I had, my gifts that I had, I imparted into my kids, and they're just beyond greater than what I ever will be. Right. Like my daughter, when she was 1 or 2, I would be driving around playing songs and just freestyling, singing like different songs and melodies. And she literally, by the time she turned 4, she was professionally singing. Like we were driving around so she could sing different places. Let alone one time when she turned 4, I would just turn on beat tracks and she would compose, freestyle a song. I'm talking about from intro to verse to hook to verse to pre-hook to bridge to like, it's just, I got some of it on recording and I'm just like telling her like the part is about to come up and she'll just, it's scary. Yeah. Real scary. Wow. It's scary. She's still doing music now? Oh yeah. 16 years old, about to be 17 in December 15th. By the time whoever we see this, whenever this is airing, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be in November. Oh, it'll be November. Okay, cool. I hate dating stuff. That's another thing. When y'all got a podcast, you don't want to date it because you know you might put this thing back out or what have you, but you never know. Who knows? It'll be out. We're doing it. Yeah, man. I've given up on trying to do things in like huge order, just as long as it makes sense. Yep. And it feels good. Feels good. Yeah. Well, that's dope, man. So so we have Sean. He's out here printing money. Baby girl is singing, rapping. She's an actress, singing. Yeah, she's a accomplished actress. She goes to Duke Ellington in D.C. Oh, yeah. So she's phenomenal actress. I'm talking about can crown the man. I saw that. I was like, oh, that's different. She a Cancer. I don't know that, John. She in December 15th, so I don't know. Oh, no, that's the... my son is a Cancer. My other son is a Cancer. I think those are Sagittarius. It might be. I never got to. I know Aries. Shout out to my Aries out here in these streets. That's okay. All I know. I'm April 4th. But you know what? I love Aries. You and my father had the same birthday. See? There we go. That's why we friends. Yeah, that's why we kicking it. So, okay, cool. So I want to talk a little bit, too, because you said you build brands, right? Yep. And for those who don't know, this is, I'll say, the author of The Ugly brand. Yep. I was on the morning meetup with Dave Shands. Yep. And this is when I first got in because I came through him 500. I didn't know what came through there. Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea what the morning meetup was, and I joined. And I'm like, oh, I like it here, you know. And you would always say, "Do it ugly," and I'm like, it just would stick. The crazy part, I've been saying it for the past 5 years now. Like ever since I got into the coaching space. Yeah. Because one of the things that I found was perfection was just another word for procrastination. And I was the king of procrastination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was too. I'm getting better.
Yeah,
I still have my little moments, but I was too. Like I would have all these ideas and all these thoughts, and I would procrastinate on small stuff. Like, oh, I'm gonna take the trash out later, and next thing you know, the trash man came, and I'm like, dang,
Yep.
my garage smells like
Yes.
3-year-old pizza or something. I don't
Yes.
know. It'd be so
Yes.
bad. But so we were on the morning meetup, and I'm like, yo, can I have that? You know what I mean? Yeah, go ahead, do what you want. I had no idea that it would become what it is becoming.
Yep.
And so I need to publicly say I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah,
And I thank you, because even in where I'm taking it, your hand is still in there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like,
Yep.
nah, Kelly, you need to be doing this. You need,
Yep.
okay, cool. You know what I mean? Stuff that I
Yeah.
don't even, okay, let me do this. And so literally, while I might not be paying the price everybody else is, I'm still putting in the work.
Right, you definitely put in the work.
It's not like it's handed. It's like, okay, Kelly, you need this.
Yeah,
This
no.
and now
You
I'm like,
definitely,
okay, now I need to go figure this out.
Yeah, you definitely put in the work.
And it's like you said, where it's that work of serving, like, you know, to just be in the room. I had to learn how getting in the room will change your life. It has literally changed my life.
Hold on 1 second. So, because we're doing the ugly, right? Well, we want to make sure, because we got other cameras that's running. Look at that perfect timing. I knew it was
Oh, that's
coming.
the 30 minutes?
I knew it was coming.
Well, we still doing it ugly, y'all.
we still.
And I'm not.
He's still ugly out here.
Because he forgot to put the charger on that camera. That's what it is. These other ones have the charger on it. No, that one's on battery too.
Oh, yeah, it's on. So we good on this one. 'Cause this one, it's the memory card.
Oh, I don't use a memory card, but they're not hooked up to the. So I get it.
Yeah, it's the memory card.
That's the part I'm still trying to figure out.
All right.
But that's why I don't do this. I just want to sit and talk. I don't want to do none of this other stuff. But I'm
Right.
figuring it out.
There.
Anyway, so for that, I appreciate you. So now this is my third time in I've seen you every time I've come down, and I had the opportunity to go to ET's conference because of you. I didn't even know anything about it,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
yo, this guy is simply amazing. But just even the people in that arena, like, it's crazy. And then you just went to Mexico.
Yep.
And that was with what's his name?
Jamal King and ET.
Jamal King and ET.
My coach CJ.
Yeah.
But one thing you said though, real quick, I just want to make sure we don't bypass it. You went to the event with E, and a lot of times people see the big name, and they will bypass the people that make the things happen.
Yeah, nah, I saw it.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah.
They bypass it. Now, there's other people who be like, oh, I see who the ones who's really. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, the name is the name for a reason. The person is the name for a reason, right? And I tell people this because I even have it on my social media where a lot of people say, yo, I'm trying to get the Tyler Perry. And I use the Tyler Perry one a lot because he does big things in movies and things of that nature, and a lot of people on the staff. But instead of trying to go straight to Tyler Perry, I'm going to start with the security guard. I'm going to add value to the security guard's life, to their business, to whatever they're doing.
Right.
Then I'm going to work with maybe a production assistant or somebody who's a key grip, or then I work the wardrobe, and there's somebody who might be doing just the deliveries or who might be doing the catering or somebody who's going to do, now we're going into associate directors and then producers. And what happens is I'm going through this process and I'm adding value to everybody's life. My name gets in the room with Tyler before I do.
Right.
So when I get to Tyler, he's like, oh, Jose,
Yeah.
I already know you.
Yeah.
I'm like, word? He's like, yeah, I heard your name ring bells around here. But see, the thing about it, we want our name to ring bells for that positive, for that level of value. I always say it's a value race. The one who gives the most value will win, period. The thing about it, though, we don't get the chance to say when that value will harvest.
Right.
Or when will we see the
Right.
fruit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yet at a moment's notice. That's why even to the point where in the Bible it promises is that we will have tribulation. It promises us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm going through a little bit of tribulation now, but actually to be honest with you, this is the best that I ever felt with it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, first off, God is the God of the encore. Have it got me through worse? Heck yeah. December 8th, 2014 was the worst day of my life when my daughter left. So this stuff is small time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he's been able to get me through other things. And then it's just like, where's that level of faith coming from?
Right.
And then here's the crazy part, though. usually when it's almost at that end where you feel like you can't take no more, that's when that that harvest comes that you planted daggone 6 years ago, or that joint you planted 6 months ago, or something that you planted five days ago.
Right.
And that thing just, I be like, look at you, God. I see what you doing.
I see what you did there. I see.
But we had to go through the process,
you got
though.
to, man. I came down here today, right? It's so crazy. We've been talking about this. My phone got hacked yesterday. Now, mind you, right before I dropped the hoodies, my Instagram got hacked. Crushed my sales, okay? Crushed the sales of the Ugly brand. When the Ugly brand first dropped, I think we sold, I want to say it was 78 units or something like that. I think it was. When the hoodies dropped, we sold 13.
Okay.
13. And I knew what it was from. Lesson learned, you gotta get on these email trails.
Email and text.
Email and text, right?
Yep.
It's okay, cool. We'll figure it out. We'll work that out. And so here we are, fast forward. Yesterday, my phone gets hacked. I have literally over 7,000 spam emails. They just keep coming, keep coming. So I got to change my personal email. I booked an Airbnb down here. The dude hits me back the day after, and he's like, "Oh, it's booked on another platform." Okay, cool.
Wait, what is the other platforms, the Airbnb?
I don't know. Verbo is another one.
Yes.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Or, maybe just, I don't know. Craigslist. Who knows? I don't know.
But he should be charged a fee for that.
But he wasn't. He was not.
That's the
right?
problem. Just like on Toro, but go ahead.
So I'm going to call customer service. I'm going to call customer service.
Yes. We're going to get you.
Yeah, we coming.
Whoever your name is, Robert.
Look,
I'm calling you Robert. We're getting you, Robert.
Rob. I'm going to tell you that, Robbie. We're coming. Okay, we about to pull up in this red wagon. We get over here. I book another one, right? And as I'm driving to the airport this morning, she cancels. Something.
Wait, who canceled?
The second Airbnb host.
Oh, okay.
She cancels. She said something went wrong, we're going to call her Chrissy. And something went wrong with the the apartment or whatever. Cool. I'm like, you know what? I get on the plane. I'm coming. I'm just still coming down.
Look.
Because I'm not missing a flight. I'm still coming on down.
Oh, that'll preach.
Listen.
You ain't even you ain't got to go no further. That'll preach. But go ahead. Let's hear it.
As soon as I get service off the plane, because I was on Spirit, y'all listen, this is how bad this is. I took Spirit to get down here. This is how bad I want to do this. It's the second time.
I never rode Spirit. I've heard.
Listen.
Answer this real quick, y'all. Y'all can tell me out here in the audience, or if y'all listening,
leave a comment.
For real, leave a comment. Tell me how Spirit is for real. If I was just to do a quickie, a boom, like a 2-hour boom, an hour boom, no bags, no nothing.
Go. I'm gonna tell you, it's okay.
All right. I heard there's no cushion in the seat.
No, now it's not. Now I was getting ready to get to that. Okay. All right, because my knees hurt. We doing this right now, but my knees hurt. I used to play football for all women's team, and I had to stop. I got older. My body been playing sports since I was 6 years old.
Right.
So my little body was like, okay, girl, we done. Okay,
right.
We got nothing else. You have to pick up synchronized swimming or something. And so my kneecaps hurt right now. But other than having to put myself in a book bag for a day to turn around and go back home tomorrow, which is DC, that's an 1.5-hour flight, I'm fine. Now, if you're going to fly to Cali, if you're flying to Mexico, it's a no. Okay, just don't do it.
Is there leg room?
They have the seats, so the regular seats like this, and you can get the other big seat like this. But after sitting behind the big seat, the only part that's bigger on the seat is the headrest. It's a little wider, so it's 2 versus 3. And the leg room is a little different, but you might want to go ahead and get that front row.
Is there a first class, a business class?
That would be the pilot. That would be the pilot. Ain't no first class. Okay? The Spirit is just to get you there. Okay? You're not about to get there.
I heard they charge for everything too.
Listen, I'm surprised they don't charge for. So if something happens and the little thing come down, the little, I'm pretty sure there's a quarter or a tax for that.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? There might be a charge for a tissue. I don't know. I don't get anything from Spirit. I go in there with my water and my stuff, but this is the second time I did it this year, and it was always this year, okay? Because I had to get it when you hit me on a Wednesday. It was like,
hey, you gotta be
down here, and I'm like, oh, okay. And Southwest was like, smacking. And of course, everybody else, if Southwest is hidden, ain't no need for me to look anywhere else.
How's the customer service?
Spirit, I haven't seen any fights. However, when I came down, there was a guy this morning who didn't want to put his mask on. And somebody's grandmother is a flight attendant because he said he took his mask down to ask a question. And she said, you don't have to take your mask down to ask no question. And
Are they dressed up in uniform?
Her glasses were big.
Or they wear whatever they wear?
No, they...
The flight attendants just come on. Like you don't even know who's what.
They have a uniform, but I don't know if they're all, they got the little black skirt. And so they asked if anybody wanted to, if you know Southwest, I love Southwest. You know Southwest, and if you have the free internet, and they always try to send you the credit card offer. Yeah. Today on Spirit, the lady said she had to make the announcement at least 15 minutes before we were about to do our final sim. And she mentioned that they had a new MasterCard. Okay. And you get 45,000 points if you sign up.
Who's
and
signing up for the Spirit MasterCard? And then where you pull that joint
Listen,
out.
she said if you need an application, let us know. We're going to walk down the row. And if we can give you, if you need a pen, we can try our best to accommodate you, is what she said.
Man.
So, it's working because I'm here.
Yeah. But let's put this in perspective too. I do say this again. I'm always in branding mode, right? So, yes, I love Delta. Shout out to Delta. I'm about to hit my little next level up, silver or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just started flying.
Points and stuff, man.
Just started flying. They get free Wi-Fi, and everyone I go on, they got a TV, and then they give you out the free headphones. I don't need them, but I get my pack of headphones.
I be on Southwest with my phone and my iPad.
See?
Yeah.
Right.
But not on Spirit.
But here's the thing about it, though. I always say when we figure out who we are as a brand, it's who are you, what do you do, who do you serve, and how are you different? Spirit knows they're at the bottom of the barrel. They know that sometimes they might not get the best customer service. They even know they're the cheapest, but they also know they're going to nickel or dime you. But they know when you need that quickie,
you pulling up. This is the second time I hit a quickie this year. And it's been to Atlanta both times.
I'm just saying, they getting their money.
And they came through.
Because Southwest ain't get it that time.
They no.
Matter of fact, twice Southwest.
Twice.
So how many people are here getting quick? You got to know who you are in this space.
Yeah.
Right. And so even as a personal brand or an entrepreneur or no, just a brand in general, understanding who I am in this space. Who do I serve? I serve people who want them quickies.
Right.
I serve people like, yo, I gotta get out of here quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tall. I'm under 6 feet because I know this is not going to be.
And I can put myself in a book bag.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be conducive for my needs, right? I know people ain't going to feel a certain way because I ain't got to walk past somebody who in first class, right? There's a feeling that comes with that. There's certain things that come with that. So understanding where you are in the marketplace, right? And understanding how you are different. I think it's a beautiful thing. They're going to get these jokes.
Listen, I got jokes all day, but I tell you what, I got a flight back home tomorrow on Spirit too.
See?
Because I got to get back
There
home.
it is. You ain't had to do a round trip. You know what I'm saying? You could have said, oh, I'm going back. Hey, there it is. I only use Delta now because I have accrued. I wish I was using them 100%. Because I just accrued, and it feels good too. We starting to gamify this thing.
It does.
Now I'd be like, I just want to fly for no reason, just so I can get to my. I was like, I see what y'all doing, Delta.
And them little Sky Miles too. The little
got the
room
Sky
that
Miles.
they got.
I got the American Express boy. So now you get to go into the club, yo.
The club,
Dog, the club. You think about it like this: it's free for the people with the American Express joint, then free, and then $39 for somebody who want to come with you. Cool. If you to go in the airport to buy regular food anyway. You spending 40 plus.
Because when I walked out of here, I told you, my morning was out of pocket this morning. I didn't eat nothing. Okay, so I got off the plane and I saw Five Guys. I don't have no business eating Five Guys, but I've been
Five Guys that was
in the airport, right?
Wait, what's that? Oh, you on Spirit side?
No, you was on the Spirit. That's what I'm saying. That's the side you don't know. Okay.
I was like, where's the Five Guys?
You don't know. Yeah, that's the Spirit side. You get burgers over there. You don't get the sandwiches and the fresh juices.
Right.
You don't get that on that side.
Oh, but I love Five Guys though.
Yeah, but I like it. So I was like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna hurry up, just get something to eat, because I don't have to wait for no bags. Man. My book bag is on. And I looked up, and the burger was $10.
Right.
That was just for the little burger. That's the little guy.
Yeah, and no fries or nothing.
No, it was just the
Just
burger.
the burger. Yeah.
I walked out.
Yeah.
I walked out because
There's principalities too. I get it.
There's levels to this. You know what I mean? There's just certain things. Not when I know Atlanta has so much to offer. I wasn't doing it.
Right.
Anyway, I walk out. As soon as I landed, I got back on Airbnb. This other guy had a place to stay. It was $99. You know, of course, you got the little arm and leg fees, but it worked out. So I'm like, all right, yes, I got somewhere to stay. As I get in the Uber, he cancels my Airbnb.
There's something to this, though. The universe, God, energy, essence, spirit is just spirit.
Something spirit. So
something is telling us
right now.
something
Maybe
is telling us in regards to these 3 cancellations.
That's it, right? So it's these 3 So on the way here, I'm like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to go. Maybe that's what it is. Like maybe I don't need to go. And then you know, my mind a little off. You know, I'm a Gemini. There's 2 of us, which means whatever's going on, it's a lot. And so I'm like, well, maybe Kel, you're not supposed to go. You know what I mean? I start thinking about stuff like, yo, is the plane good? Because it's spirit.
Right.
And before I get on any plane, I always do a cross on the plane. A cross. My dad
I do a prayer. I do a prayer for that joint and every passenger on it. I say top to bottom, wingtip to wingtip, top to back, and every person on board. And then, of course, I try to cover us all. So if we should die, we good.
We're good.
You know what I'm saying? I try to.
My dad told me every time I get on a plane, you know, he just does a cross and you just keep on moving on the side of the plane. Bless the captain and everybody, like you said. So I'm like, all right, guy, well, you know what? I'm not gonna just not go. I'm gonna figure it out. Because I know enough people. I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna work this out. So I'm like, all this stuff is happening, you know what I mean? So I put my little morning tweet on, you know, I told Marty that I did not stay consistent and do 3 posts yesterday because there was just so much going on. I didn't have it in me.
Right.
And there's one bar, somebody came in there and made a comment and was like, Kelly, something good about to happen. That's all that's happening. So when you said just now where you were like, you know, you always got to sow, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I do know that I sow good stuff. Something good is about to happen. And you know what's so funny, what's crazy is the last time I started experiencing all this series of events, the shirt ended up on Rick Ross's floor.
Yep.
So when these things happen and these ugly things happen, I feel them. I just don't stay there. Because I know that, okay, cool. Let me just sit back. Let me just sit still.
That's good. I just got there.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, as much as I speak and as much as I preach, that's me talking to myself. Everybody be like, yo, Jose, you be deep. No, I'm just really talking to
myself.
me.
Yeah, I be my own avatar sometimes.
Right.
Because it is like, and you have some people are like, Kelly, I wouldn't know what I would be doing in that position. You know, you going to Atlanta, you ain't got nowhere to stay. I'm like,
it's going to work out.
No, it'll work out.
I heard real quick, there's a difference between optimism and faith. Yeah. Optimism is like, oh, it's just going to work out just based off of random chance.
Right.
Faith is that, oh, it's going to work out based off of God's chance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because I know it's going to work out because it's worked out before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is when you said that, you were like, you know what? if he's able to take me through this, you know what I mean? Come on, man. And this was my lowest. And I don't know if it gets any worse than that. Man. You know what I mean? So I don't worry about much. And so yesterday we did an exercise on the morning meetup, and it was, Brent asked, you know, what's your biggest fear? And people were coming on saying their fears, and I was like, I'm struggling to find one. Now, I used to have one. I used to have them. I have thoughts, but I don't know if I have...
What would it used to be?
What would it used to be?
Or what did it used to be?
Clearly, it used to be starting. It used to be starting to do stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
mine was not being perceived through my children's lens as a good dad. No matter what I did, if my kids did not perceive me as it, I don't care. I could have did everything in the world, but if they didn't feel it because I had a great dad. He was quiet, but he was a great dad. He was there. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's...
I think that is so important. My dad is my best friend. Literally, he's my best friend. I talk to my dad every day. And he's taught me so much. And my man don't even have like a college. They say he put him out of high school. They graduated him because they wanted him to go. My man, he wasn't that. He wasn't. But he's just go. Yeah, just go and get up out of here.
Let's get out.
Just go on now. but he's wise. He's the youngest of 6 children. He lost his mother at 17.
Okay.
He raised himself between him and his sisters. You know, there's 6 of them, but the boys were all grown and gone, and so he's taught me so much. And so for you to say like the lens of your children and see you are not in the ideal, right, daddy in the home situation, and so I know there's probably like a whole nother level of effort because you're not even in, not only not in the home, you're not in the state.
Dog, this is what I talk about. For those who don't know, 5 children, 4 different women, and I've done a lot of counseling for fathers and some others also in regards to how to deal with certain things. Right. Because, you know, some fathers are like, oh, my baby mama, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, multiply that by 4. Hold up. Sit down, young buck. Let me talk to you real quick. All right? And I've been through, you got to think, I've been through a lot from death to even, we ugly. We getting ugly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
You got to think, my daughter, when she was born, her mom was married to someone else, of course. And that's what I mean as far as that negativity that I purposefully implanted into this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Through her, I felt like, now again, she was amazing, a light. She was, you know, really, and we'll probably talk about this on another podcast. She was really, she became social media famous because of her sickness with a couple of celebrities and things of that nature. So she was definitely a light, right? And so in that part, she had to make her, she did what she was supposed to be here for.
Right.
But me, again, and I always say, I used to say this a lot, but I don't say it no more. It's one of those quotes that I don't put out no more. I say, God won't give you more than you can handle, but karma will give you exactly what you deserve.
Baby.
All right. Now, karma, though, here we go.
Now, because I was gonna ask if we could touch it a little bit. So yeah,
it could be good, bad. It could be indifferent. I felt like I paid for a lot of the good. Yeah. I mean, the bad, and some of the indifferent. So that's why now I promise you, every decision, every thought behind it is a high level of integrity. It's a high level of what am I giving? It's a high level of servitude. It's a high level of how is this going to impact somebody else's life and their generations to come just by a decision. A lot of people don't look at it like that. I look at it like that because I've seen it where, I'll take this for example, a friend of mine I used to work with, one day he had his son, get them together. His son was like 3, put the book bag on, brushed his hair, and took him to the daycare out in D.C. and got a call later on, said, yo, your son had died because he accidentally went to get a ball out of a pool and he drowned in the pool. Kiddie pool. All right? So, reason why I say that, right, there's certain things that we do, small things, the butterfly effect, what they say, but that lead to one, that lead to another, that lead to. Now, him potentially could not have caused
any
his
of
son,
that. Right.
But then in his mind, he's like, well, what if I had just, or if I didn't, or da-da-da-da-da, right? So my whole thing is, I've seen one thing that I do now, that I've been doing my whole life. If I'm about to leave out into my car, I'll sit there and stop. And I'll stand there and wait. And I think that that accident that I was about to be in, I just walk. If I was just a split second later, then you know what I'm saying? So I caused the split seconds, right? Yeah. But what I'm saying is to say all that though, those actions that I do now, I try to do positive actions because me affecting your moments can affect your hour, can affect your morning or evening or night. It then could affect as far as your spouse or your loved one. Then also affects your kids. Your kids don't take it to school with them. Your kids take it to school, and that affects the teacher. Then that teacher takes it to their home. Right. And it takes it goes down and it trickles. They always say, if the oceans were still, one drop will cause a tidal wave at the shores. But I want to be that drop of positivity. Right. that's why. So if I'm gonna affect you, yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna be so positive, then that's gonna spread.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm at Chick-fil-A. Let me go ahead and pay for the next 2 people behind. And then they go home and they like, honey, oh, da-da-da-da-da. You didn't forget our anniversary. We're not getting a divorce. All because what? Just because I was literally to the point of making sure I'm positive with that seed.
Yeah.
And I will never see the full ramifications of the seeds that I planted, which is that's what I'm cool with.
That's what it's
You know
supposed to be that way.
So
it's supposed to be that way. I'm learning that. I'm learning that because when I started going 100 with the Ugly brand, and that's one thing too. I went 100 with the Ugly brand out the gate. Everything else I've always done, I just waltzed into.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't go 100, but I'm learning that you know, every day that I might feel like I don't post, there's certain people who repost my stuff every day.
Yep.
I get the DMs where it's, Kelly, I'm doing it ugly. I did this because I did it ugly. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
Because of that one drop, Jose, it rippled onto me and is now rippling onto 1,000 other people. So it's like, once I learned that, and this is something my father has always told me, man, I was in some jacked up relationships. I'm in a good one now, but I had to go through some stuff to figure out this what good looks like. And I was going through these breaks. I'm in depression, man. I lost weight, lost hair, stuff like that. Not sleeping or sleeping too much, you know what I mean? And my dad was like, you know, Kelly, this ain't even about you. I'm like, now you wait a minute, sir. This person has sat here and done X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You know, said this, that, and the other, did this, that, and the other. I'm the one crying. How this don't have nothing to do with me?
Right.
And he said, there's a Bible verse, and I don't know what it is. I'm going to figure it out, y'all. And he's like, everything that you do is about the next person to come. It's in the Bible. He said, don't look, I'm not making it up. It's in the Bible. Because there's going to be a little girl who's going to go through the same stuff you're going to go through. Or there's going to be a little girl who's going to maybe not go through it, but you might talk her out of it or something. He's like, you got to understand, when you go through things, God chooses you. And so then I'm now mad at that. Because why are you choosing me to go through this? There's plenty of other people out here that have done some
Choose
crazy
them.
stuff. Pick them. Okay, I didn't ask for this. This ain't my daily double. I don't want nothing to do with this.
Right.
And he said it because if he would give it to somebody else, they're not going to be willing enough to share it with somebody else. And so everything that we go through, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, it is my responsibility to teach somebody else. It's my job to teach somebody else. And so when I got hooked on Do It Ugly, I feel so much pressure off of my shoulders, even though I know the pressure is there. I know I got to get these sales up. I know I got some people who have made an order on these black hoodies that have been out for almost a month and a half now. And the lessons that I've had to learn from that and everything like that. But it's just like, yo, I still be so okay in this space.
Yep.
You know, I still don't got a place to stay. We're going to figure it out.
Yo, we doing it.
It's so
uber ugly.
It's so
super
ugly. It's
ugly.
so comfortable, though.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm comfortable in that because, you know what I mean? When you realize that things is not about you, it makes you, that should be motivation enough. If you really care about people, we claim we do. Some of us be like, oh, I'm not a selfish person. You sure about that? If God gave you a talent and you ain't shared it yet. You know what I mean? You haven't invested in it yet, or you haven't, you know what I mean? So, you know, but I'm going to leave that alone. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings for real.
No, it made me think. I think it was Dave who said this one once before.
That's right. Yep.
He was saying like, imagine, and Dave, I told you this, but I actually did this. I did this sermon at church also. I ain't give credit, but I did it. I flipped it. But the gist was, imagine, and he probably got it for somebody else too because it's real good. But it was like, imagine that on Christmas, you go to family and friends' house and you give them a gift. You're like, and she's like, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And, you know, you go home and then a couple days later, we have New Year's Eve, right? We can have New Year's Eve. We're coming through and you're like, hey, you know, how everything going? She's like, just put your coats in the closet. I go in the closet, put my coat in there, and this is at the bottom of the. It's at the bottom of the closet.
I would feel some type of way.
Exactly.
My feelings would be hurt.
And that's how God be feeling when he gives us these gifts and we do nothing with it. Like we're taking these gifts saying, oh, thank you, God, for this. And then we put it in the closet, under the coats and under the other boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Nowhere to be found.
Right. Being, like you said, selfish.
Disobedient.
Being disobedient. But now that gift, it's like, all right, we got to pull that thing out of the closet because it's not for you.
It's not meant for you. Yeah. I think that's where some of us go a little wrong, where we are selfish. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, we make it about us and everything that's happening with us, and you're not even thinking about the people to come that need you to tap into your great.
Transparency moment. I thought everything was about me until my daughter passed away. Now I look at it as like, really, nothing is about me.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you, I thought the world. I know a lot of us think that, but I'm being honest and transparent. I thought the world revolved around me. Everything was handed to me.
Did you like really? So now for your childhood, right? So you have your sister, right? Is it just you?
I have two sisters from my dad and one brother who he lived in the house, and so I got three siblings.
So are you youngest?
I'm the middle. Well, the third to last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was in. The
funny part, they're texting right now because they're meeting up in Maryland, and I feel a certain way.
Oh, but you're here.
Yeah, and the wild part though, I've always felt like an older child though. Remember, I thought everything was about me.
Yeah.
So I used to alienate myself.
I was gonna ask you that.
From my siblings. Did I never say this on recording or probably out loud? Probably not just probably to a therapist.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah, probably just to a therapist, but and other relationships. But I literally thought I was an only child. I thought everything revolved around me. Why?
They tell us spend all these money on these cameras.
Right, and they end every 30 minutes. But no, what I was saying is, and I might not even have it. Look, we going ugly because I could have had one leg.
Slides in there. I done had
legs.
Yeah, we relaxed in these pleather chairs.
Right.
Nice.
But the biggest thing is that everything came so easy, and that's where I used to come with the Do It Ugly, because it had to be perfected, or it had to be given to me. I'm talking about to the point where I'm sitting on the couch waiting. Because everything was given to me. It was skill. If it was something I did at school, if it was something I did on a job, I was always the best at something at the job. Like I was always that number one guy, and everything came so daggone easy. Yet at the same time, hard work will always beat talent if talent doesn't want to work hard.
Right. So
and my talent didn't. I didn't want to work hard.
What point did you get to a place where your talent ran out, or did it?
Talent never ran out.
Never ran out. You just got smart and was like, okay.
It just got to a point. It got to a point where, and I tell people, don't scoreboard watch. Yeah, I say don't scoreboard watch if it's going to be a detriment of you, your mental state. Right. But you have to scoreboard watch, so you know where you at in the game.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing Dave tells us all the time, is to know your numbers.
Yeah. So I'm scoreboard watching, and I'm seeing people who not as talented starting to go past me. Right. It's almost like even if you think about a marathon, like the greatest marathon runners, what will happen is during certain segments of the actual marathon, it'd be a group of people who come out. They're fresh. Their legs are fresh. And they come out and they get ahead of him. And he's like, okay, he has to keep up with him. And then it's a group that's behind and they pushing him. So you're getting pulled and pushed by other people who are around you, because you are the one that's talented, but also you're the one that's working hard. Right. I just happened to be the one that was talented, not working hard, and those people were passing me. Yeah. And I was just like, I ain't gonna never catch them. I'm gonna wait till God blesses me. Right. I didn't even want to say it like that. I was just waiting till another opportunity. And what happens is I missed out on so many opportunities. And I posted this the other day. I was like, there's no such thing as a missed opportunity unless unless you deliberately pass it up. And I said it like this: anything that's meant for you is for you. There's no such thing as a missed opportunity.
You should have said it like that.
Right?
You
I did say it like that. That is
okay.
how I said it. But everything that is for you is for you. There's no such thing as a missed opportunity unless you deliberately pass it up.
Yeah.
And again, this is me talking to myself. I deliberately pass stuff up. And see, what happens is God is going to give you this gift. He's going to give you this purpose. He's going to give you this thing. And if you don't do nothing with it, He's going to give it right to somebody else. And you're going to look at that thing, go down like, oh, I was supposed to. Yeah. I should have.
Yeah.
Nah, you didn't. Yeah. You had the opportunity that you deliberately passed up. Yeah. That was me. Yep. So now, when I say, oh, I'm moving to A, I'm moving to A. Yeah. When I say I'm doing it, when I said that I was leaving the job, I left the job. I left the job, went vegan, and left a negative marriage at the same day.
Wait.
We ain't got enough time for this, but yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
no, we good. No, we good. Let's go.
Because we just restarted our camera.
Yes.
You made a decision. There's something at some point you said, you know what, I made a decision. And I think that's sometimes where that is actually, I feel like the first step of success. You got to make a decision. And once you made this decision, you're like, okay.
And decision is different than choice. Y'all have heard it before.
Yes.
When we say decision, comes from decide. Side means to kill off. Genocide, pesticide, homicide. It means to kill off. So it means that if I make a decision or I'm deciding, that means this choice that I'm making, there is no other choice because I killed off the other options.
Yeah.
Right? I killed off all the other options. So yes, I decided.
You decided.
And I said, cut everything else off.
You told Mr. Verizon, hey.
Ow. Let me tell you how I told them.
2 weeks or you just walked out?
I did 2 weeks.
Okay.
Here's the crazy part, though. They had created a job for me, right? Where I wasn't in the stores. I was, long story less long, I was like a liaison between the stores and upper management, executives. All I had to do really was visit different stores in the region. It was 44 stores, 600 some odd employees, show face, shake hands, kiss babies. I got paid to drive, my own mileage in my car, So I was free. But something was still calling me about the entrepreneurship joint. And they had, my director had just got fired. And I was like, dang, I really, not that I answered to anybody, but I didn't. I was like, who do I even answer to?
Yeah.
I knew I was getting
questioning you.
I was like, I don't even get a check. I know I get a check.
Right.
But I don't even have nobody I don't have nobody to know.
Right.
And then the area was moving around. And my whole thing was, if I stayed, they probably would have either said, hey, here's a severance, but I was too valuable. I didn't think they was going to give me a severance. I could have used that severance.
Yeah. If you out here just jumping from
I was like,
DC to Atlanta, you didn't go to
I ain't moved yet at that time.
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
What's
next after we left the work?
Yeah, left work, went vegan, full on vegan. Well, trans vegan, that's another thing.
You was just eating leaves?
I was eating leaves. I call it trans vegan, and there's no disrespect to our community. But
absolutely, none at all.
Yeah, I call it trans because I was straight vegan, but I ate melted cheese.
You couldn't give up the cheese?
The melted cheese, not regular cheese. It had to be melted.
What's the difference?
Regular cheese is not good as melted.
Okay, I mean, you're right.
So, in other words, I have a veggie pizza here and there. Not a here and there, a lot. I didn't cook. I was a bachelor, so I would.
Do you know how to cook now? He done moved to Atlanta and go to Slutty Vegan every now and again.
I wish. No, like for real, I go to Kroger's. Shout out to Kroger's. For those who don't know what Kroger's are, it's like Safeway, Giant, or whatever. So they have ready-made stuff at Kroger's. And after I had COVID, I'm not vegan no more.
Get on Pinterest. Yeah, because you probably was about to disappear.
A little bit. Yeah. But, and then of course, at that time, because my wife, my ex-wife at the time, we had started this journey because we watched What the Health.
I refused to watch it for that reason.
We watched it.
Everybody I know watched it.
Yeah, we watched it.
And I wasn't going to do it. I'm gonna eat pizza.
We went vegetarian, and I was like, okay, this is kind of easy. But then I was like, I'm going all in. Yo, shout out to the people who say, yo, I don't eat meat, and y'all be eating fish and crabs and stuff. Y'all ain't sexy. Well, I'm not a vegan no more. But, yo, y'all would be trying to be at the spot with me talking about, I'm a vegan. No, not a vegan, so I don't eat meat either. Yo, you a lie. You not sexy like the vegans.
Craig.
Say
Okay.
what you are, pescatarian. You ain't a.
You're
don't
not.
do it.
You're not a vegan. Don't do
do
that.
it.
Okay.
You're
And there's
lying.
nothing wrong with eating the crab. You know what I
Right
mean?
now, do you think?
Especially from DMV.
Out after COVID, that was the
Yeah.
first thing I had.
With
I
some
had
crabs?
Alaskan crabs too, not the Maryland
Ooh.
jumps. The Alaskan
Where you
jumps.
get them? They down here.
No, this was in
You went home?
DC. I was in DC still.
You know they got rid of the shrimp boat. I'm not
Oh.
shrimp boat. The Captain White's
Oh, word?
down the wharf.
That the wolf.
Yesterday it was floating away.
That's crazy.
Horrible. I don't agree with it. I hate it. Hate everything about it. I think the city of I think DC something to do with
It's funky
politics.
down at the wharf.
Yeah, it is. So you left the job. Marriage was a no-go. It wasn't working out for you. You made a decision to do that. And all in a time frame of a month or so?
No, all in the time frame of a week. In the same, you might have said the same time, same day.
No, that's the same day.
Like
You
literally
just
to
came
the
down,
point.
Did you have somewhere to live down here? Or you
Oh no, that didn't move yet though.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
the moving part came later.
Later. Okay.
Yeah. You got things. Still got kids and things.
Yes, okay.
I don't.
That's what I say. You just up and popped out of
Yeah,
there.
you can't.
Like, wait a
if
minute,
I was
dog.
single, like when I mean single, like I ain't got nothing.
No responsibilities.
A lot of times, I always thought about this too. I
Mm-hmm.
made excuses. I was like, because I can't kids, I can't jump. I made excuses.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there is a truth in that, and most excuses for real,
Mm-hmm.
do have some truth in it. But I still say they're sophisticated lies,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you jump off a cliff, if you tether to 5 other people, then you can't, because you got to try to build a parachute for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just got to the point as after that, I started building the parachute.
Right.
Truly, being the ex-wife, we had talked about moving down here anyway.
Okay.
My whole thing is, just because it ain't work out and you didn't want it to work out,
Still make that move.
I'm still, like, I'm one of those. If I say I'm doing something, I'm doing it.
Right.
Whatever I want, I'm gonna get it.
Right.
It just happened to be, I didn't have to work for it before.
Right.
It just,
This
I
time you had to come
want this
down
starfish. Boom, it just
Right.
pop up. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Now it's like, I want this starfish. I gotta go to Bed Bath and Beyond or wherever you get these
It
from.
look like it's I learned about the Dollar Tree hack with the Airbnb stuff.
Oh, yeah,
It's for a lot
yeah.
of people. So this is probably this one look like it's Family Dollar. It's a difference between Dollar Tree and Family Dollar.
It's a difference between Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, and Big Lots.
Thank you. Okay, because Big Lots got some stuff in it.
Big Lots is the Nordstrom's of the
Dollar
Family
Tree,
Dollar,
all of
the Dollar family.
That's what I'm
It's
gonna start
the
calling it now
Nordstroms.
because I can't really go to Nordstrom's yet because I haven't really my entrepreneurial stuff. It's getting there. We getting there. So, but I don't just go to Nordstrom's for
never.
fun. Yeah,
I don't care how much I ever make. I'm not.
Yeah, you told me the other day we were talking about working on the luxury line for the Ugly brand, and you gave me a brand, and I knew nothing about it.
Yep.
Luxury to me is like Nike. But once I started creating like my own brand and the hoodies and stuff, I'll go in my closet, and I feel wrong if I put on Nike.
Let me ask you a question though. As you started studying those other brands, what was the biggest thing that stood out about to you as you started studying them?
Marketing. The branding. Branding, because when I,
Same material.
That's what I'm getting ready to go off on. Because the stuff that bothers me, that I've learned, is that once I've gotten into like where to order from and the brands that I order and everything, because there's levels to that too, right? Like you have jerseys and you have Bella Canvas, and I'm learning all of that stuff. And I sit, and now every time when I go to stores, I look in them tags and I'm like, this is the same material I use.
Yep.
But they're in here and they're doing what business does, is we're overselling. So when you said something about the luxury brand, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, well, Jose, what's different? Why is it so? So because you said something about Bape, right?
Yep.
So I went to the website because I didn't know. The only thing I knew about Bape is that bathing apes. Is it the same thing?
Yep.
Only thing I knew about that was Jeezy. He said in a song, I love Jeezy.
Yep.
Jeezy, my favorite rapper.
Yep.
He said something about it. But any other than that, I would never know. I knew. So I went to look at the website and I'm like, $220 for a book bag with some dinosaur mouth or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. But I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like,
Right.
so the only difference, or I would say the major difference is the branding.
Yep.
It's the branding. So I'm like, okay.
That's why they say, what's the cost of water? People are like, what? It's like, what's the cost of water? You got some of it where you can get a plastic bottle for 99 cents. I can get it for $3. I can get the same bottle for $77 and some cents. And then they got some that you pay $1,000 for a bottle of water.
Yeah. Like
Same water though.
I was so bothered when the first time I had Voss. I was bothered. I'm okay with the Deer Park or whatever I normally drink.
I think I seen a Yves Saint Laurent T-shirt with no design on it for $5,000 or something.
I don't even know how to say that. Is that the YSL thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a V-neck joint too. See-through V-neck. Same. Matter of fact, if y'all Google T-shirts, you should see like a plethora of basic to high-end T-shirt. White tees. Put white tee.
White tees. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
After I find me a place to stay. Because I don't. So when we said taking to a luxury, I'm like, yo, okay. So and then you sent me somebody's page, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be in New York next weekend.
Yep.
Which actually, I actually feel like not a small celebrity, but like an entrepreneur. I'm going to be in South Carolina speaking at an engagement that Dave is going to be at.
Let's go.
On Saturday.
Let's go.
He was Damien, I think his name is. He was on last week.
Okay.
My pulpit is different. He's allowing me to open up for him. And he has a mastermind that Dave is going to be speaking at. He's allowing me to open up for him, and he said, Kelly, my budget is tight. And I said, I'll be down there. It's free $99, dog. I got that. Let me handle it because I understand the value of getting in the room.
Yep. Make sure you get the recording. And your content.
That's it. That's all I want. I'm really going. That's what I'm going for. So I'm definitely not going to release this until after.
Right.
That's what I'm going for. But yeah. So I'm like, man, like, this is all about. It's all about branding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And branding is what that is. I pulled that off my pants. It's a feeling.
That's not my brand.
An emotion.
Those not my pants.
Right. A feeling or emotion to a product, a service, or a person.
Right.
It's a feeling. Right. It's not anything else. And people think it's a font, it's a logo. And I coach people through this. Like, this is what I do for a living. And it's so much more. A lot of people think of it surface level, but you got these billion-dollar companies that spend millions of dollars with teams that go through and try to get an emotion. I always say, think about your first love, and hopefully your first love was a first love for a reason. Whether it's puppy love,
we good friends.
You know what I'm saying? And I say, why did you love them? And people say, yeah, well, the way they held my hand, the way they rubbed my, the way we did this,
he was a quarterback.
Kisses. Huh?
He was a quarterback.
Oh, okay.
Status. I thought I had status.
See, it was certain things that was done, but then when we get down to the nitty gritty, though, that love was a feeling that you can't really describe in words
because you didn't have it before.
Well, not even that. Like, it's almost, I always say, it's almost like trying to explain the color red to a person that's born blind. I could see red. I know what it is, but how do you explain it? Like, oh, it's the same as a... Wait, nope, you never seen.
Man. It's bright.
Right,
No.
What does that mean?
What does that
And the
look
same
like?
thing is with love. Even though we've experienced what we feel, whatever form of love is, nobody felt that love like you have. Right? And so what we try to do with a brand is recreate the feeling or certain feelings that you have. I use a perfect example. When I see Pepsi, I don't think about like the Super Bowl or anything like that. I think about my grandma. And the reason why, because what happens is she never drank Coke. She said, you ain't bring no Coke in my house. And she drank the Pepsi, and she would have the Pepsis all the time. And then as a kid, we couldn't drink the Pepsi. We had to get the quarter waters or some water. Yeah, I better put that down. Y'all ain't drink them. Y'all ain't put it on them Pepsis. And again, I remember that feeling. So when I see a commercial, that's the feeling that I get. Right? And that's what branding is to a certain extent, because people will have a different emotional responses based off of their experience with your product, service, or with you.
Right.
So that's the thing. We went around the Marbury bush to talk about why high-end luxury brands are what they are and people buy. It's the same thing with these NFTs. We've created a value to it.
That's a whole
that
other
somebody else is going to pay for.
Yeah.
And it only takes one time for somebody to buy to say that is your market value.
Yeah.
So if you want to sell that ugly hoodie that you got on right now for $5,000, that's the market value. If somebody buys it, that's the new market value right there.
Come on here, Rick Ross, get yours. Okay?
You
Come
know
on
what
here,
I'm
get
saying?
yours. He already got 2 of them. I'm about to send another one.
There it is.
Yeah, it's. I had to learn that, and I'm learning that. I have so right now I had when I dropped the hoodies, there's a back order on the black hoodies because of course, right? And then it's that season, so not only is my brand, but everybody else's brand Just having to do. And so some people ordered some hoodies, and to this day, I haven't been able to deliver them, only because I had to go to my printer. I learned that my printer requires 36 items, so then I had to go back and I had to order some more stuff in order for them to print. And so they'll be out next week, though, because I talked to her before I left. But I've only had one client, one customer, that has kind of,
salty?
Annoyed me.
Okay.
A little bit. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that off camera. But I made sure that we sent out an email every week. Hey, this is where we're at. Yep. I explained that the borders are shut down, and that's why. And because the borders are shut down, and people are not really trying to pay these truckers the way that they should, there's so much stuff that's backed up at the border. Right. And there's things literally sitting in containers right now because there's not enough truckers, because they won't pay for the truckers, and therefore it's tough for me to get my stuff. Right. And so I went through that whole little spiel, but I've only had one person. There were 7 black hoodies ordered. I've only had one person that, is just that person. Right. And I explained it to everybody, and I reached out, and one of the people who ordered one was Marlon. Okay. And I explained to Marlon, I said, Marlon, man, I feel bad. Because I'm like, people really supporting this brand. Right. And they're supporting me. You know what I mean? They connect with me. And I feel bad because I'm like, yo, I don't want anybody to, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want them to have that feeling. Right. And Marlon was like, Kelli. He's like, I get it. You know what I mean? We get it. First of all, the name of your brand is Do It Ugly, okay? I bought into somebody doing it ugly. You know what I'm saying? I understand what's happening here. Yep. But it's also, he has the opportunity to know me on another level where he's like, he sees what's happening. You know what I mean? So it's like you said, that there's a feeling that you get when you're a part of that brand. Like, there's a feeling I get when I buy some Jordans or some Nike or whatever. I'm not super high class because I don't really know much about the high end stuff. Oh, these are Vans.
No, that was your shadow. I was like, what is that on the floor? I saw your shadow.
See? See, I don't, because I'll get up. Right. Everything was so nice, guys. Thank you for joining the Ugly Trooth podcast. There are ghosts here in Atlanta. We got to go.
Oh, we appreciate it. I thought it was like maybe like a...
No, dog. If you see something like that, like, you just want to see you folks with pigment. Y'all just get up and run, and because it would have ended. Because I'm gonna get up and go with you. I'm not asking no questions.
Dog, we was in Mexico, and something fell like a heavy leaf. I had on these flip flops and no socks on, and I promise you, something said. I lifted up, but I saw it was a leaf, and I came back down. Yeah, okay. I floated. My boy was like, "Yo, you was about to dip."
Yeah,
I was like,
"Yeah," and I ain't gonna say nothing about it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, but it's I'm learning that, and you always consistently say you are your brand. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people are able to connect with me, and I put it out there in social media and stuff like that because that's just who I am. Anyway, I think that my life is pretty hysterical, even when things don't go the way they're supposed to. But working on building this brand so that it can become a luxurious brand, and but I also still want to remember, like, and still have stuff that is affordable and everything, but at the same time, just like you said, there's Ralph Lauren, that's Polo. You know what I mean? You go into a store and we are paying $85 for a shirt with a man with a horse on it. Like, what are we? These polos come from, they made in China. You know what I mean? Or overseas. I tried the overseas thing once before. I'll get back into it when I get the budget to do so. But it all goes off of that feeling that when you walk in a room and somebody's like, "Hey, that's Ralph Lauren?" And you like, or is it Lauren? I'm sorry, I don't know, guys, but it's like it's different. Yep. So you're definitely teaching me and putting me on that a whole nother level. I never would have thought about a luxurious brand until I got that text last week. You know what I mean? Now I'm sitting here looking at, now I'm studying BAPE and like, okay, these urban, Kith. I'm like, who's that? Like, I didn't know who it was. I'm like, who's this guy? Yep. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, and to see, I saw what I sent you to text, Corey Arbinger, the owner, one of the owners of Support Black Colleges. Yep. He was just there in New York at Kith, and I'm like, oh, so I definitely need to make a trip just to see what it is. You know what I mean? But
Supreme. You think about Supreme.
yeah, like what is that?
It's a logo basically, and they would put it on this,
and it would be like $1,000. It's a red logo with white words that says Supreme.
Yep.
You know, so all that to go to show is that no matter what it is that you have, it can be what you want it to be. You just got to grow it there, and you got to put it there.
And how far are you willing to deal with the adversity to keep pushing through?
Keep going. Yeah.
Just like with the pain that you're going through now, the tribulations we're going through right now. It's like we can either give up,
right,
or we can keep going,
right.
But the thing about it, we got to get through it anyway,
right.
So you might as well just keep going. Might as well just
keep going through
it. Keep your head up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And again, that's like I said, I'm talking to the old me.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times I'll just be like, man.
Are you your own avatar? Is your old person your own avatar?
Here's the crazy part. I named her Sharitha and things of that nature, and I go through the whole spiel of what her pain is. Mm-hmm. But a lot of her pain, yes, it is.
Relates with you.
Because you got to think about it. We know us better than anybody else. Yeah. As far as our pain. And that's why I tell people, we say it's like, yo, I've sat with your pain longer than you have. Mm-hmm. I've thought about your pain longer than you have. Mm-hmm. So I have a solution for it. Why? Because I've actually been through it longer than you have. Right. And you just coming off on this thing, oh, this is your new pain for 3 months. Oh, I'm going on 13 years with this. Oh, I got you. Let me help you out. And that's what I tell people in the space of whether it's coaching, mentorship, teaching, instructions, and consultations. You need to think about those people's pain, because pain don't have a demographic, pain don't have a name, pain don't have a race. You know what I'm saying? There's some pains that kind of attributed to race that we kind of feel, but again, it's not fully saying, hey, this race only has this. No.
Right.
So if we focus on the pain and alleviating the pain as well as fulfilling those desires, we're going to win.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we've been at it like an hour or so. I could talk to you all day, man.
We over.
I talk to you like my dad. Like you guys are born on the same day.
Right. And I'm old.
Just rap, but it's all good. Say it's over.
No, I said I'm old.
You old, me too, man. Well, I'm not as, no pun intended. Yeah, I like the salt and pepper for real. It is. It's seasoning. You know what I'm saying? I think salt and pepper stuff.
I got a lot of my hair.
We don't ever see it because you always have on a hat.
Always.
And that's cool,
always
man.
on
That's
brand.
your signature.
Always on brand.
Yeah.
I was at a white party. They was like, dog, how is you still got the... It's like, look, I'm going to always be on brand.
Yeah.
Like, I think about even E.T. I was watching a video, and he did a sermon, but he had a hat off. And I was like, dang, you know what? I've never seen this hat off in person or... Just other than that one video, he was at this church.
He wakes up with his hat on.
I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to always... And more likely you go see him, you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe shirt. So...
Yeah. So look, guys, listen. Welcome to. No, I'm sorry, not welcome to, because y'all been here for the whole time.
Right.
Been here.
They can still welcome.
Yeah. Well, if you seen this message, you tuned in late, and you need to rewind. That's what you need to do.
There it is.
This has been an hour and a half. I don't know. It's been a good time here at The.Ugly Truth Podcast, Atlanta edition. Okay, it's the Atlanta edition. Because the Maryland edition is in my basement.
And it's not so ugly again.
It's not so ugly, but let me tell y'all, I still got to find a place to stay. Okay?
That's the ugly part.
That's the ugly part. Man, listen. The Ugly Truth Podcast is sponsored by The Ugly Brand. Go on ahead and get your gear at www.theuglybrand.com. We're going to bring Jose back. He was supposed to be episode 1, okay? And let me tell y'all.
It got real ugly.
It got real ugly. My man came home and ended up with a flat tire on the way to the studio, which is my basement. I'm going to call it studio because it makes me sound so fancy. And it just did not work out. And then
rock and a rotor. Actually, though,
I told you.
You the one.
It was a rock in between.
I did not. You know how I got it out? Because actually, what happens is you told me a rock and a rotor. I don't know that stuff. Like, for I ain't gonna lie.
I used to race cars on Central Avenue. That's why I know. Yeah.
I told my pops. He was like, all right, do this, because everybody was closed by then.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, go into a parking lot, put it in reverse.
Yeah.
And then the reverse boy.
And it'll come out.
Man, that junk came out like an hour later.
But it wasn't even just that, though. The next day, you got a flat tire or something. You did construction. Or was that the rock? That was the
rock. Yeah, that was the rock.
Okay, and then we just couldn't hook up because we had stuff to do. Everybody was busy. It's all good. So I believe this is going to be episode 5. He will be back for episode
Something.
50? I'm gonna try to wait till 50. I might get you back at 25.
You know.
I don't know who's counting.
The silver. I think 25 is the silver.
Let's do 25. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna come back here and do it. We're just gonna do yours here.
Let's go.
That's it.
I mean, I'll probably move by then, or just be Airbnb'd out, like everybody else.
The lady came in here and I asked if she did corporate leasing. She's like, no.
Who?
I don't know. She was showing somebody the. She lying. I know. It's okay.
Oh, they all, dog.
It's okay.
They be out here, decorations.
Yeah, the little the dollar. It's
Like,
okay.
yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
be
find
out
out.
there.
Listen, I'm gonna have one too.
I be like, y'all don't live here. I see y'all.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah, I asked her.
Cool.
She said no. It's okay. I'm gonna work it out though. She don't know yet, and I hope she don't watch the video. Guys, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Once again, this is Jose, the black man with a Spanish name. This is the author of The Ugly brand. Okay, I'm just a vessel, and we gonna blow this thing up.
No doubt.
It's already working. I appreciate you guys for coming through. We'll see you guys on the next The.Ugly Truth podcast. Appreciate you sharing your ugly truth with us, King.
I ain't want to do it the other way because I don't know what type of sickness I got.
Y'all see how they do? You see how they do? They let anybody get a vaccination now. We could have.
It ain't COVID though.
Listen.
It ain't COVID.
I don't mind. I was people I was gonna hug. They told me no.
Oh.
That was fun.
I love it. I love it.
Somebody was ringing the hell out of my phone.
Word.